So this is Jethro. He's in the middle of a seizure. Just a quick demo of what that means for him. It's his whole body. He doesn't know what's going on right now, but we like to keep comforting him. Just make sure he's not banging his head around. Recording this one. Hey, buddy. We'll get on that side. Oh, here he goes. So it's just really about making sure there's nothing in his way, making sure he's not banging his head on the floor. Oh. It can go fast. And then we have Butters trying to help out too. Can get on that side. We can get his collar. Yeah, just take his collar off. He doesn't typically foam, but he does drool quite a bit. Okay, Butters. Thank you for helping. Look up, buddy. Okay. Shh. Okay. Shh. You're a good boy, Jethro.
He's starting to bleed.
Yeah, and he's tearing up his claws a little bit this time. Okay, keep his head still. Can't really restrict him. We just have to make sure his head isn't banging around. You don't want to restrict him though, because it's so strong. It will break a bone. So I want to make sure there's no table legs or chair legs or anything too.
I kind of want to get him inside because of the concrete.
I know, but I don't want to lift him yet. So most dogs, a seizure lasts anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes from everything I've read and what the vets have told us. This is typically for Jethro. This could be easily half an hour. Sometimes up to an hour or longer. And we used to give him diazepam to help stop it, but we've stopped doing that at this point. He does take daily medications. He takes, what are they called again? Phenobarbital and bromide, potassium bromide he takes daily. And those tend to lessen the severity and the frequency. Unfortunately, they don't stop them entirely. We do know from experience he has no knowledge of this happening. When he does come out of them, he's completely oblivious to the fact that it happened, unless he injures himself, but otherwise he's normally pretty good. It's hard to see here, but his eyes get very unfocused. You know, he can't really hear you or know what's going on around you. And this is not new. This has been going on for
as long as we've had him.
Which is how many years now? 7 or 8 years. No, not that long, has it?
Yeah, we got him when I was in 4th grade.
Yeah. So almost right away after we got him, he started doing this, and So I am going to put this on Facebook, or not Facebook, on YouTube, because I know there's people that like information on their dogs having seizures. I apologize for filming vertically instead of horizontally.
Yeah, way to go, Mom.
Yeah, it was quick. It was a quick decision to make when his seizure started. But I know there's people out there whose dogs have seizures and are looking for more information. Oh, Butters. Butters does like to help. He actually has come and told us on more than one occasion when Jethro is having a seizure. And funny enough, Butters has been acting weird today because there's some noises on the street. And earlier I thought it was because Jethro was having a seizure, and it wasn't. But now it is. So it goes in phases. It's kind of a calm phase right now, but it's clearly still happening. You can tell by the amount of drool and the fact that his legs are still shaking quite heavily. He also has quite a vacant stare. Has no knowledge that we're here. No reaction to anything. He also sheds a lot during a seizure. He typically doesn't shed all that much, but during a seizure, it just falls out. Jethro came from Kentucky. He was rescued from there. We don't know what his history was. He was 2 or 3. I think the cat's up on the counter.
It's the kids' country.
Yeah. He was 2 or 3 when we got him. And the rescuers didn't know he had epilepsy. The first time he had a seizure, it was a bit of a shock. He fell off the bed, and I was ready to just laugh at him for falling off the bed. But it turned out okay, so he's going back into it here. You can tell his head is starting to stiffen up more. He's looking around a bit more wildly. He's probably going to start flip-flopping again. Sometimes we call that sharking because his whole body goes twisty and sharking around. So I'm just going to watch for his head here. We've had some really great vets that have worked with him to try and keep his medications within therapeutic levels. Without any medication, this is nearly daily.
I still don't forgive you for when you went under the bed and had a seizure.
Yeah, under the bed is a really awkward spot to have a seizure. Because again, we can't really move him too much without risk of him breaking a bone, depending on which phase he's in. So he'll go into a little phase where he does this lip smacking thing, but he's still not out of it then. Again, this is a lot of practice learning this. There's the cat. He doesn't care. So there's not a lot you can do. It's just making sure you're with them. They don't get injured. You're just kind of calling their name out and petting them, making sure they're still having contact. There goes his legs again, getting really stiff. Yeah, he's stiffening up quite a bit again. Obviously work with your vets with any medications. We're kind of at a point with him and his age where we're not stopping treatment, but we're not going to do anything excessive at this point. Again, his head kind of twists around. His back leg sticks straight out. His toes kind of, it's almost like he's stretching out his fingertips and his toes. And just a lot of shaking. Again, he does not know this is happening. When he comes out of it, he's just like his plain old regular Jethro.
Just a bigger jerk.
Depending on how long a seizure lasts, there can be... We have experienced in the past where he's had some brain swelling. We think he had a seizure when we weren't home. Maybe banged his head. Maybe it went on for a very long time and it just got to be too much. And it did take a good 2 or 3 days for him to kind of come back to himself. He was walking around in that, but kind of out of it. Almost drunk for a few days. That was the only time it really happened, though. Usually, almost immediately afterwards, he's back to being himself. Even when we were giving him diazepam, it's almost like the seizure would burn off the diazepam right away, because he didn't always act loopy off that. I'm sure if I had as much diazepam as he had, it would have been bad. Pardon the nails, I haven't had my manicure yet. Hi, Butters. Butters does get worried, but I think he also just likes that we're all down on the ground with him.
Hello.
Butters, I don't want kisses. I'm filming.
Butters!
I'm filming here.
Butters.
Okay, here we go. So, he's flipping around again. He does tend to flip clockwise. He'll go in circles clockwise, so I'm in a good position here where my leg is kind of stopping him from going around too much, but we'll see how long this carries on for. This might be an awfully big upload to YouTube.
What's it at right now?
We're at 12 and a half minutes. So again, we don't know his history. There's a few things that could have been the case for him back in Kentucky. He came from a high kill shelter, we were told, that's mainly beagles. One of the things that we're told happens down there, and again, this is just what we're told, who knows if it's the truth, but is that for hunting season, they tend to overbreed the beagles, and then they don't necessarily want them all after that. So they just let some of them run loose. The other thing is that beagles are runners. So he could have been somebody's family pet and they maybe loved him very much. And, you know, he's run away on us countless times. So, yeah, so there's a good chance he just ran away and his family never did find him. And we were lucky enough to. There is also laboratories that use beagles for animal testing. I don't know a lot of the history behind that, but I have heard about that. So, you know, any one of these scenarios could have been possible. It's also possible that when his family realized he had epilepsy, that they brought him to the shelter because they didn't want to deal with it. That was never an option for us. Obviously, we take our rescues on warts and all. For instance, Butters walking around here is highly agoraphobic, which is why he's acting so weird today, because he hears noises outside. So, it is what it is. I mean, I kept the kid, too.
I look crusty.
You do look crusty, so do I. It's okay,
You're not on camera.
It's Sunday afternoon. It's okay.
We should go get pineapple.
Get what?
Pineapple.
We're not getting pineapple. As you can see, the seizures are so mundane at this point. We talk about grocery shopping while he's having it. Sometimes it seems like he's very relaxed, but it is still clearly happening. For us, we can see he's still shaking. He's not responding to any stimulus. Even his ear, which he hates people touching his ear.
And his feet.
And his feet. He's reacting, but barely. You can still see the shaking. Butters just doesn't care. Get out of here, Butters. I have to move my leg because I'm losing feeling in one of my legs.
Butters. He's up.
Okay, so this is, let's keep him here. No, he's still,
Try and get him inside at least.
I'd rather not. Butters, stop that.
Butters.
Okay, so he's up, but he's still seizing. I don't know why he's trying to stand. That's not usually part of his pattern, but...
It's kind of come to that lately.
Has he?
He does that.
Here, can you close the door, actually? Sorry about the filming, guys. I'm getting attacked by a Catahoula here as well. Butters, go lie down.
I don't know if the door closed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Jethro, stay there. The other thing is to kind of keep him away from stairs, because when he does like to get up and wander, sometimes he'll want to walk downstairs.
When he was like right at the end of a seizure and he ran screaming and like slid halfway down the stairs.
Okay. He's trying to go downstairs here right now, so we're just trying to block those. So he's still, you can see his legs, he's still shaking. Not really sure the point of getting up at this point, but buddy, I'm gonna try to stand up. So again, I apologize for the filming quality here.
Please don't swing again under there. Climbing over. You are not climbing over. You are halfway through the seizure.
Yeah. So we say halfway because he's at 17 and a half minutes-ish. And we don't believe for a second that that's it. That would be a fairly short seizure for him. Butters, you're okay. You can see Mr. Scaredy Pants here, Butters. There's an event going on down the street and they're using a sound system, a PA system, and it's scaring the bejesus out of him.
Just say that.
Yeah. Go inside, Butters. Go inside. He's not fond of the outdoors when there's scary noises. No, Jethro, stay outside. You're okay. Part of you can tell too is his back is still very hunched. And his back legs are very stiff. Cat wants inside too. We keep towels around for the drooling. He is still drooling. And sometimes right at the end of a seizure he'll throw up, but not always. Yeah, he's not there yet. Jethro. Completely oblivious.
He's right here. He flips.
Okay, well, I'm old, so I'm going to sit on a chair for now.
I'm just here in case he flips.
Okay. We're just going to keep filming so everybody can get the full experience. Feel free to skip through some of this if you need to.
Put timestamps in the description.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm not going to watch a whole YouTube video of a dog seizing unless...
Here's when it's the worst. Here's when his feet are bleeding.
Yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit, see if you can see the dripping drool.
Oh.
He's not a drooler normally. Like, not even when he's eating or anything. But when he's seizing, it's just like somebody opened up a faucet. I don't really see it. It's dripping here and there. He is a very pretty boy, though. He's just a little bit broken. But aren't we all? So he's starting to shake a little bit more, hunch a little bit more. Looks like he might be going fully back in.
Just don't.
They don't even really seem to tire him out. Like, once he's done, he's just up and around and like it never happened. It's kind of the craziest thing. So I will record the whole thing or until my battery runs out, whichever comes first. But I think the last one was over an hour. So I can either edit it down or just let everybody know to fast forwards. See how his head is twisting a bit? Again, that's something that's part of the seizure. Yeah, he's gonna get flippy again here. Oh, my poor baby. We do have a lot of comments from people that say, you know, maybe he needs to be put down.
Absolutely not.
We don't agree with that because, like I said before, he has no idea this is happening. And when it's over with, he doesn't remember that it happened. So his quality of life is not actually changing. Our quality of life changes for the length of time it takes for him to go through a seizure. So you can see the drool kind of pouring onto the ground there. He's, instead of flipping, he's up on his 4 legs there. He's gonna go in this side. I'm gonna get down here and help out.
Okay. He's gonna go towards the wall.
Yeah, I got him here. Hey, buddy.
Just had to go the other way.
Hey, buddy. It's, how you doing? Okay. So sometimes it does this too, where he's up. It's almost flipping him backwards. So, I mean, in normal circumstances, that could be a fun little pose. Okay, here we go. All right, I got him here. So, okay, buddy. Okay. Shh. So, like I was saying, his quality of life is actually fine.
Despite what it looks like.
It looks horrible. It looks horrible, but I swear he doesn't remember any of this. There's no trauma afterwards. As far as him injuring himself, we've never seen more than, like, right now he's got, and his claws do need to be, trimmed, but he's kind of pulled it a little bit on the concrete here. It's hard to see. But other than that, he's never broken any bones or anything like that. And like I said, we've always tried to protect his head. We're not naive. We do know there's obviously seizures when we're not around. There's not a heck of a lot we can do about that, obviously. There's times when we're not home and he could be under a table and banging up against the legs. He could, maybe he could fall downstairs.
Now with the gate gone.
Yeah, we did have a baby gate up, but one of the dogs broke it. I don't know, probably Butters. But, oh, my nails are really bad.
Stop!
What? I was just commenting. So as you can see, it kind of goes in waves. It'll be really bad for a minute, then it'll calm down, then it'll be really bad. And without giving him diazepam, it's just a matter of waiting and see how he does. So it's actually pretty strong right now. It's hard to see it, but his His two front legs are spread right out, and he's putting quite a bit of pressure on them. You're okay, buddy.
Sitting his